welcome back to my YouTube series, and we are now 12 weeks out. Shit is getting real. So I'm going to take you guys through the changes that are happening this week and fill you in on all the stats, how I'm feeling, how the body is progressing, and what I'm doing today. Let me start by filling you guys in on the fact that we are currently in a 3-day lockdown here on the Gold Coast. So today is one of my favorite training days of the week. It's my biggest leg day, and obviously the gyms are closed. So yesterday I went out and we bought a exercise bike, and I also got some adjustable dumbbells for home, just in case things get extended, I guess, and also for further lockdowns that we have to go through in the coming months. We have been meaning to get a cardio bike or some sort of cardio equipment for home for a long time now, because we obviously both do cardio in the morning. Not as much me at the moment, but I will be doing more and more cardio as I'm leading into stage, and has been doing cardio every morning on his current plan in his cut down. So having a cardio bike at home is is basically a massive time saver for us. So he's actually in there doing his morning cardio at the moment, hence why I'm outside, because you don't want to listen to him heavily breathing in the background. So where am I at with things? I am currently 69.7 kilos. That is 2.8 kilos from the start of my cut down. But guys, I'm still a little heavier than when I started my cut down in my previous show preps. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm still really far away from the mark. So we are really ramping things up this week. Training day calories are 1870. Non-training day and upper body day is 1570. So 1570 is pretty low. I think that's probably lower than, or maybe about the lowest that I've dropped my calories in my previous preps. But as I said, this prep is completely different. I do have more body fat to lose as well. So going with it, everything is still feeling amazing. I have 12k steps daily still, so nothing has changed there. But alongside the calorie drop, I now have 2 cardio sessions a week as well. So Monday morning, which is tomorrow, I'm gonna have my interval session. Now, it's programmed on the treadmill, but because the gyms are shut, I can still do my interval session on our bike at home now, which is great. And then I've got another session on Thursday morning as well. So things are slowly moving. I'm feeling really good, and we have plenty of room to move as well, because I'm not even doing my daily cardio yet. So plenty of room to push harder in the next 12 weeks to come. So in terms of my weight loss or my drops on the scale, so basically last week I was leading into the 4th week of my cycle. So when I woke up on Monday morning, I was 70.4 kilos. So I had dropped a decent amount since my previous check-in. I think that must be at least 800 grams, I think, in the week. But then what happened was, as the week went on, I started gaining 200 grams a day. So on Tuesday, I woke up 200 grams heavier. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By the time I got to my Friday check-in, I was 71 kilos and only 200 grams down from the previous check-in the week before. Was I stressing out? No, I was not stressing out, because I knew it was the 4th week of my cycle and I was just about due for my period, right? So my weight naturally always goes up on the scale leading into that time due to water retention. So I was not stressed about this at all. It's really important to remember, ladies, like with your hormones, it does mask those effects for those days. So I know, and I knew that I had really stuck to the plan. I had drilled everything. The scale was literally going up, and I was kind of just keeping myself calm and trusting the process. So basically, the next day after my check-in, got my period was gone within 4 days, and then I checked in with my coach the following week and I was 1.3 kilos down. Okay, so that 1.3 kilos would have been a little from the week before that was masked with the water retention, and then again from the current week. So back on track again after that week. So it's just so important to remember it's totally normal that your weight will go up leading into your period with your hormones, and you've just got to stick with it and trust the process. So good check-in this week. We are on track, and now I've got another 4 weeks of the cycle. This will be the first 2 weeks of my cycle as well, where I am the strongest in the gym as well. So mentally I can prepare and kind of take that on board with my training as well. So for the first 4 weeks of my cut down, on average across the week, I have dropped 700 grams per week, which is basically perfectly on track for me and the trajectory that I'm going to try and get to stage day. So obviously with an average of 700 grams loss across the week, and not actually losing 700 grams per week. As I just explained, when I have my period, obviously the scales go up. So some weeks are more than others, but across the board and across that first 4 weeks, it is an average of 700 grams per week. So I wanted to quickly elaborate for you guys the reason that I said I feel so far away from the mark, or I feel so far away from my goals right now. And that is because basically when I started my shred down for both of my WBFF shows previous to this one, I was lighter than I am now. So I am 4 weeks into my cutting phase, and I'm still heavier right now than I was when I started the cut down for my previous shows. So I had never been over about 68.5 kilos in my previous shows. And that is why I'd always started my cut downs only 9 weeks away from the stage, because I was always relatively lean already. The reason being is because I didn't really have time to do a proper growth phase. I was traveling and I just got to the UK when I started prep for my first WBFF show. Not really enough time for a proper growth phase. And then for my pro debut, I basically came out of the first show and straight into prep for the second show. So again, not enough time for a growth phase. So this is the first time that I have gained that amount of body fat and really given myself the chance to gain more muscle in that time period before the cut down for the show. So like I said, the heaviest that I got to was about 72.7 kilos, which is a lot heavier than 68 kilos. And the goal for this show is that I should be heavier when I get to stage than I was for my previous shows due to an increase in muscle mass. The other thing that I have to think about though is I may be wanting to go for a slightly leaner look for this show as well. So the fact that I am slightly leaner for this show might also change, you know, what the weight on the scale is going to be for this show as well. So it's not going to be the same as my previous shows. It's kind of a new standard for myself. And I do really just need to keep an open mind about it and not compare too much to my previous shows, because it is going to be different this time around. I actually wish I had have given myself longer in this growth phase, because, you know, you always get to the cut down phase, which I'm at now, and always think to yourself, have I done enough? Have I given myself long enough? Have I made the improvements that I need to make to come back and have a better package than before? I truly do think that I have made some big progress since my previous shows, and that is always the goal. However, I'm already thinking about that next growth phase, to be honest, and where I really do want to be, you know, in a couple of years down the track. Anyway, guys, plan for today in lockdown. I'm about to go out and do my steps for the day, 12K. So I'm going to go for a nice long walk, and thankfully the weather is really nice outside. I don't know if the coffee shops are going to be open. I'm not quite sure, but we are hoping that our favorite coffee shop is still open so we can go and get that and do a really nice walk this morning. Now, after I do my walk, I'm going to do a lower body dumbbell only session. So I am going to eat my normal training day meals today, and I'll show you guys the meals that I have for this week. Nothing has changed. I'm still following the same sort of structure. So I'm eating the same meals all week, just changing the carbs, basically increase carbs on my training days and lowering the amounts on my non-training days, but the meals themselves are staying the same. We do have a little apartment gym downstairs. Not sure if it's closed today, but I am gonna go and check it out later to see if I can use that alongside the dumbbells that I bought yesterday. The only thing in the gym actually that would be really helpful is they do have one of those seated leg curl / extension machines. So I would love to go down and just use that alongside my dumbbells and some bands, and hopefully can get a really good and effective workout today, even without the gym. But for now, I'm gonna have meal number 1. I've just had my Oxy Shred and my glutamine, as I do every single morning, and it's time for breakfast. Good news, guys. The coffee shop is still an essential, so we will be getting our morning coffee at least. We've got our coffee. Time to get in the steps. Guys, there is always so many people out when lockdown is on. It is like a summer weekend at the beach. Okay guys, so I've done most of my steps this morning. I think I'm about like 8,600 steps for the day done out of 12K. If I need to go for another little walk later this afternoon, I will. It is such beautiful weather, so not an issue there. I've just come down into my apartment gym. I've never actually been down here, but let me show you guys what's in here. So it's got this machine with a pull down, a row, a press, and luckily, this is what I'm really happy about, a leg extension, leg curl combo, which I can use today. Now, we do also have a recumbent bike and a treadmill. As far as I know though, the treadmill is broken. It does work, but I think the incline on the treadmill doesn't work. So, I can use it for some of my cardio if needed. So I've got my dumbbells, which I've just brought down from upstairs. There's also a fit ball machine and a pec and rear delt machine in here as well, which is cool. Not a bad little setup. The only thing I think that's missing in this little space is a little dumbbell rack, to be honest. So I've got my dumbbells here. I'm about to set up for my workout. I know already what is on my training day to day for my Sunday session. It is more glute focus. And I'm basically gonna follow along the lines of what's on my regular training program, but I'm gonna alter the exercises. So I'll show you guys the exercises that I'm doing today, as well as what they would be in the gym on my regular program. I am gonna throw in the leg extension and leg curl machine though as well, just because that's in here and I can really get the intensity up with that machine. So I'm just doing a quick warm up, guys. I just realized the incline on the machine is fixed. It seems to be working now. So this is amazing. I now have a treadmill and I have our home bike that I can use as well. Alright guys, we are done training today and that was a really good 60-minute session. Better than doing nothing at all. So I'm gonna go up and have a post-workout meal now, and the second part of today's video that I wanted to share with you guys is basically just what I'm eating this week, 12 weeks out. So I'm gonna take you all through all of my meals from breakfast until pre-bedtime. So guys, the closer I get to stage day, the cleaner the meals are going to get. I have already cleaned up things just a little bit tighter this week, 12 weeks out. Prior to this, as you saw, I was still having bagels and I was still having Fro-Pros before bed, which is ice cream. I've taken those out now and I've just got my dark chocolate prior to bed. The only thing that I do still have in there that is processed, I think, is my sandwich thins, which I'm going to keep in there this week because they are only 100 calories out of my day. So it will just get cleaner and cleaner as I get closer in. I just like to stick with foods that I know are going to be properly digested, utilized for training and energy, and I don't want to be using too many calories on processed foods for satiety reasons as well. I want to keep myself feeling fueled and not hungry. So guys, I'm going to take you through that now, but I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and also ask me any questions that you have below about my prep, and I'll make sure that I answer them in my following video. Chat to you guys soon.